you. Thank you very much. To the sons of liberty and the daughters of democracy of Iran, I bring you greetings from the Congress of the United States of America. My name is Ted Po. I'm from Texas, and so from my fellow Texans, howdy y'all. I am glad to be here with my friend, Member of Congress from Texas, Sheila Jackson Lee, and my friend William Clay from the great state of Missouri. In my former days, I was a judge in Texas, and I believe in justice. Justice for everyone, everywhere. But if the Iranian government was put on trial, it would be found guilty. Guilty of injustice. Guilty of murder. Guilty of arrests of political and religious people. And it would be found guilty of encouraging terrorism throughout the world, especially at Camp Liberty. Not long ago, I traveled to Iraq with members of the United States Congress. We met with President Maliki. We had one major request. We wanted to go and see for ourselves the people of Camp Ashraf and the conditions they lived in. And his answer was no, no, no. And the reason was he had something to hide. And Maliki still has something to hide in Camp Liberty. He condemns the attacks on Camp Liberty, but behind the scenes, his fingerprints are all over the attacks of your friends and neighbors and relatives in Camp Liberty. Some may ask, why is the United States interested in Camp Liberty and those thousands of people who live there? It is simple. It is freedom. Freedom. We are interested in human rights. And the very first human right that we all have is to live in freedom no matter where we live in the world. We are all made the same way, no matter what we look like, no matter what our religious faith, where we live on this planet, young or old, deep down in our soul, we are made with the burning desire to live as a free people. And the people in Camp Liberty have that burning desire as well. And I say to our friends and our neighbors and your family members in Camp Liberty, do not give up hope. Do not give up hope. Your struggle for equality is hard. Freedom has always been hard. But we have had some successes. Let us not forget, it took forever to finally convince the United States State Department to delist the MEK, appropriately so. They should have been delisted years ago, but that is a success. And I thank other members of the United States House and Senate for pushing this issue. Also, I want you to know that I earlier this year sponsored, along with 100 other members of Congress, a resolution to condemn the attacks in Camp Liberty. And there are over 100 members of the United States House of Representatives that have joined in this resolution. Let me specifically talk to you daughters of democracy, you daughters of Iran. We need you in this struggle. We need you in this fight. It is for not only you, but your daughters and your sons. And I commend President Rahaji for her diligence and her work. Let me tell you something. My grandmother, who basically raised me, used to tell me this. She said that there is nothing more powerful than a woman. A woman that has made up her mind. And President-elect Rahaji has made up her mind. And I say to you daughters of Iran, you daughters of democracy, rise up. Rise up, let your voices be heard. Do not be silent. We need the voices of the daughters of Iran in this struggle. Some in the world say the new regime is different in Iran. Not so fast. Not so fast. Anytime a person is put in power because the supreme leader gets to pick all of the candidates, you don't have an election, you have a selection. And that's what has occurred in Iran. You know, there is no liberty in Camp Liberty. Ironic name for Camp Liberty. It is everything but liberty. It is not a safe place, and it's no coincidence that on Election Day it was once again attacked. It is more like a prison. In fact, as Mayor Giuliani has said before, it's worse than a prison. It's a concentration camp. Because in prison you get to see your lawyers. In prison you get to see your family. In prison, governments do not murder the people in prison. Camp Liberty is nothing but a concentration camp. You know, in Camp Liberty, the people are barricaded behind the walls. The walls of fear, the walls of oppression. They must immediately, that means now, be moved to Camp Ashraf. No more murders by the Iraqi government. No more outside intimidation by Iran and Hezbollah. The United States' obligation is to protect the people of Camp Liberty. Justice requires it, and justice is what we do. The cause of freedom has been difficult, but freedom has always been difficult. It has been costly, it has been expensive. Your friends and your families, they have died for liberty and for freedom. But I tell you that freedom will come again. Maybe not today, maybe not the next day, but that day, tomorrow, will come. Freedom has always been a struggle for any nation that now has it. The day of freedom came in this nation of France, where we have our host. And it came as a struggle, and part of that struggle is portrayed in the play and the movie Les Miserables. Listen, if you will. Listen, if you will. Do you hear the people sing? Lost in the valley of the night. It is the music of a people who are climbing to the light. For the oppressed of the earth, there is a flame that never dies. Even the darkest night will end when the sun does rise. So will you join me in this cause? Who will be strong and stand with me? Somewhere beyond the barricade, is there a world you long to see? Do you hear the people sing? Do you hear the distant drums? It is the future they bring when tomorrow comes. So will you join in our cause? Who will be strong and stand with me? Because somewhere beyond the barricade, there is a world they long to see. Do you hear the people sing? Do you hear the distant drums? It is the future they bring when tomorrow comes. And I say to you, my Iranian freedom fighters, tomorrow comes when freedom's flame will light the souls of all Iranians, and the barricade of oppression will come down, because we will not go away into the darkness of the night. We will not disappear without a fight. Our cause is right. Our motives are just. We will meet again soon, I hope, with you in a free and safe Iran. Thank you. Thank you very much.